Welcome Bitcoin friends, Bitcoin Mamo. Today we're going to look at the Bitcoin charts and do some TA after this big drop. Have we reached the bottom? Do we have further to go? We'll also look at the weekly chart and compare the previous bull cycle to the current bull cycle. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned and let's get into the charts. So I just want to start on the daily chart for Bitcoin, and as we can see, we've had this big drop from 65,000 all the way to 47.4, and currently we're sitting at 50,600. And we've just got this fib drawn here from the bottom to the top, and currently you can see we are in this golden pocket area, and we did wick down to the 786 level. I also have this white trend line drawn here, and if I just zoom out, we can see it just connects the bottoms here all the way back from December last year, the second bottom in January this year, and currently we are getting support on this trend line with the golden pocket. We'll have to watch and see how the daily closes, and if the next candle tomorrow opens up and we do hold this as support, then I think we might go back up, and that may have been the bottom here. Interesting to note also is on the VPVR, the amount of volume traded at specific price ranges. We can see a big spike here where we did get this bounce. And just looking at the EMA ribbon on the daily here, we can see it acted as support several times here, and now we have broken below the daily ribbon. So things do look quite bearish at the moment, and this will definitely be resistance on the way back up. What I don't want to see is for this yellow line to completely go below the red line. I'd like to see us come back into this ribbon before that happens. And just looking on a smaller time frame on the 4-hour, we can see after we broke this ribbon, we had this big drop, and we did come back to retest the ribbon several times. It got rejected 3 times, and then that led to this bigger drop here. So the next test will be if we do keep going up here to see if we can get above this 4-hour ribbon. Just looking on the weekly chart with the ribbon, the top of this ribbon on the weekly chart is at 45,000, and I do expect us to bounce if we do come down and test this ribbon. We might go slightly into it, but I do think this will act as support. The ribbon is spread quite wide all the way down to almost 30,000. And just comparing the 2017 bull run, 2016-2017 bull run with the weekly EMA ribbon, we can see that we came back to it several times and it acted as support. And whenever we were overextended, we did end up coming back down into this ribbon. And back to Bitcoin on the daily, and just looking at the RSI, we did have this triangle pattern drawn here that we were trapped in. And of course we had this bearish divergence with lower lows on the RSI, high highs in the price. And I said in the previous video, once we break this trend line and also the trend line on the volume, it will dictate the direction for Bitcoin. And these pretty much happened at the same time. We can just see that here on the volume, we did break above it. And we also broke down on the RSI here. So the daily RSI is currently at a 33 level, so it does have room to go down, and I think maybe over the weekend we might come down to this dotted line at the 30 level before we do bottom out. And just looking at the 2017 bull run again, we can see on the RSI we did come down to this dotted line several times on these pullbacks, also after getting this bearish divergence with the RSI. And looking at the CME futures chart, we also had this triangle pattern with the RSI, although we did break above it with a bit of a fake out, and then we came back down and finally broke this triangle also. And just looking on the weekly now, we can see that we were in this channel here on the RSI, and it looks like we are coming back down to test this trend line here. And of course the new weekly will open up in a few days. And also have this 21-week exponential moving average, which everyone's looking at, and that's at 44,500. And I think this is definitely a bounce area here, where if we do go down to this, I would be looking to go long. I also have this yellow trend line drawn here on the RSI, and we can see it acted as support several times here. And it also corresponds with this 21-week exponential moving average. When we came back to meet this line, we also bounced off this 54 level on the RSI. And just going back to the 2017 bull run, we can see how many times we did bounce off this line here at 54, and it also corresponded with the 21-week exponential moving average several times here. And just to show that a bit more clearly here, I've just got it circled where we did come back to that line and the 21-week exponential moving average. So whenever we were overextended here, we did come back to this line, and we did wick below it here a few times, but the bodies of the candles were always above it. So I'm expecting a similar thing to happen here on this pullback. And it's also important to note in that 2017 bull run how much these pullbacks were. We did have 30 to 40% pullbacks several times here. We could see 5 times on this run up during this bull run, and really 2 major ones after breaking the previous all-time high in 2013. I think we're at a similar point here in the current bull run. At this point, when we pulled back to the 21-week exponential moving average, we're about 5 months away from the peak of 2017. And if we apply that to now, 5 months away from now would be around September, which also lines up where I mentioned in previous videos where I think we might peak out. And one more tool that I use in my analysis and trading is Market Cypher by CryptoFace. And basically this green wave is the money flow when money's coming into the market, and the red wave is money going out of the market. And we look for this to basically curve off and start to change directions here. We can see we've gone deep into the red, so we'll be looking for this to start to curve around and come back up into the green. And this is on the 4-hour chart. Also look for these green dots to indicate bottoms. And the best way to use this tool is to just go through many time frames and just build up a narrative of what it looks like is going to happen. So we do have the green dot on the 4-hour currently, but I'm looking to see this green dot on the higher time frames. So looking on the 6-hour, we also have a green dot here, but we can see we did get one here, and we did get a bounce, but it wasn't the bottom. So we will look at the 12-hour. And we can see on the 12-hour chart, we did get a small green dot here, followed by a red one, and we have carried on further down. So I will be looking for a green dot here on the 12-hour, and we can see previously how accurate these were. It did get the bottom here at 50,000, which led to a $15,000 pump, and it also got the bottom here in March at 44,000, which led to a $15,000 pump also. And the final confirmation I'm looking for here is a green dot on the daily, which I think will be a sign that we've definitely hit the bottom. You can see the last green dot here after a deep cut with this wave was in January, back when we were at 32,000, and it did lead to this massive pump all the way up to 58. We did have these smaller green dots here, and they did lead to pumps, but when we get these deep cuts down and we do get the green dot, it can lead to a much larger rise. And if we look back further, we can see the last deep cut one here was all the way back in September, and that was at 10,000, and we can see the run up that we had after that. So I think this might take a couple of days to play out here over the weekend, and as price starts to turn around a little bit and we do see this green dot, I think that's definitely a good sign to go long in the market. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. We'll have to watch price action over the weekend. I do think we are close to a bottom, and we'll have to watch that 21-week exponential moving average, and I will make another video when I do see that green dot either on the 12-hour or the daily. I do think coming into Monday we will see that. So thanks for watching. I'm Bitcoin Mamo. See you next time. Bye.